Hello, my name is Adi Wijaya, Marketing Lecturer of Think Education, Torrance University Laureate University. I'm taking this short video to introduce the subject to you briefly. As mentioned in my broadcast communication, this subject is actually about everything, a bit of everything in marketing and management and also strategy. So we'll be learning some key concepts such as the concept marketing itself, customers, customer-driven marketing strategy, like segmentation, targeting, positioning, marketing research, consumer behavior, and of course, marketing mix variables. In a short while, you will receive an invite from me to join me in my in the webinar to discuss the assessment. So stay tuned. Now, what I'm going to do next is to share my screen to you to discuss the first assessment, which is due in week 3. Okay, so hopefully you all be able to view my screen now. This is the first assessment. There are 3 assessments in total. Assessment 1 includes part A and part B, and this is part A, which is due in week 3. Okay, let's have a look at it. This is an individual assessment. So what we need to do is to post our comment in the forum, okay? And your mark will come from 2 parts. The first one is your own posting that should contain 500 words. That contributes 10% of your mark. And the second one is your comments to your peers posting in 100 words, and that will contribute the other 10%. Okay. All right. So the purpose of this assessment is for you to reflect on the evolution of marketing concept. Therefore, we need to be able to understand what marketing is all about. Okay. And please go through the learning materials, the module 1 in particular, to help you understanding the concepts. Okay. And now, in terms of timeline, Monday, week 3, you need to upload your posting. And on Sunday, week 3, you need to post your comments to your peers posting. Any friends that you find posting it, so please post your comments. Okay, right. So all marks will show as 100 marks, but that will be it will be calculated. It will be converted into 15%. Okay. Okay. Now let's have a look at what we need to do. Okay. So you are required to select a product, a service, or an organization or institution that you are interested in working for. I'll leave it to you. I would strongly recommend you to look at the product services organization that operates in Australian market, because it will be easier for you to look at Australian consumer. But if you live in overseas and you want some adjustment, please send me an email. And again, it is going to be in 500 words. Okay. Okay, now let's have a look at the task. There are 3 tasks in here that we need to address. The first one is define the concepts and process within marketing, including what generally is accepted as the focus of all marketing activities. And let me just highlight that for a moment, okay? At our level of study, we need to be able to explain and use the concepts, Okay, now that task basically requires us to define the concepts. Okay, so when you refer to any the appropriate definition of marketing, then you're on the right track. Okay, one of the things, one of the websites that I'd like you to recommend, I'd like you to research is probably the American Marketing Association's website on marketing definition. So you can type in your Google search box, AMA marketing definition. You should be able to find a comprehensive definition. Okay, explain it. Okay. Explain that definition, right? Give your thought about that definition, okay? And now, remember, we need to be able to explain and use the concepts, okay? Therefore, the second one is basically about explaining why it is important. That has the application elements of the concept as well, okay? So explain why marketing is important. Now, when you explain it, please make sure that you go back to the concepts that you, or the definition that you have outlined in the previous task. Okay, so with that, you're actually showing the link between the concept that you outlined and how you address the case, which is basically related to the product, service, or a company or institution that you analyze. Okay. The third one basically is about your reflection. So before you come to the subject, what you think marketing is all about. Okay, so that goes back to you. What did you understand about marketing? All right, after you do some research to find out what marketing is all about, okay, and you show the difference, right? This is where I was. This is what I think marketing was about. And then it has changed to this. Okay, that's the one that you want to show. Okay, right. And the second part of, remember, you also have the second part for these assessments. Okay, so you need to provide at least 100 word response to part B and C of your peer students, fellow students' original post. Okay, so you need to address that. You need to type your response. Okay, in doing so, I would recommend you to look at those two elements. First, the concepts of marketing. Second, how that concepts of marketing has been implemented to your by your fellow students. Okay. Yeah, select that one. Select any posting, then you put your comment. Okay. All right. And in doing so, let me just highlight one more thing to you again. If you go back to task 1A, if you go back to definition task, you after the definition, of course, feel free to include any relevant elements into your comments. Okay. Right. So hopefully that gives you, hopefully that helps you to address the assessment.